Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Well, the streets of DC are a little bit safer, depending on who you ask, because this guy right here, 36-year-old Uwana Ubam, is arrested. Now, this guy, if you don't know who he is, this guy right here, over a span of 3 years, this guy has assaulted or violated over 12 women, and police think there are more women out there that haven't come forward yet. I don't know what it is and who's raising this type of individual that feels as though they can pick a woman off the street like fruit for their own sick, twisted desires. But evidently, you know, they caught him and he's off the street. Here's his story.
Police say a man has now been arrested in connection with a series of sex assaults dating back to 2021. We first told you about the assault from July when MPD put out these photos looking for a suspect in Northwest in an assault there. Jay Korf is at MPD headquarters with more now on how detectives finally caught a man accused of terrorizing women.
Yes, Michelle, it was the trifecta of DNA evidence, a lot of hustle and sweat from good detective work, and then 12 courageous survivors coming forward.
DC police believe the streets and sidewalks nestled in neighborhoods along the 14th and 16th Street corridors of DC are now considerably safer with the arrest of 33-year-old Uwana Ubam.
We are here today to announce the arrest of a suspect linked to a dozen sexual assault offenses that occurred throughout the district over a 3.5-year period.
Detectives allege Ubam started his rampage in 2021, sexually assaulting 2 women, both cases linked with DNA. But since he was not in a police database, the cases went unsolved. Fast forward 3 years, from April of this year to early November, authorities say there were 10 additional attacks against women Ubam did not know, always in the middle of the night and usually in public places. Investigators say in some cases, Ubam used a firearm to get what he wanted.
This method of approaching women unknown to him while walking would become the suspect's predominant method of attack.
Police say their big break came a few months ago when they uncovered surveillance photos linked to a case involving an attack that took place in a vehicle.
Detectives were able to close in on Ubam after running through over 1,000 vehicle registrations, reviewing hours of video footage, and through the execution of search warrants to obtain cell tower data.
Police also say this arrest would not be possible without the courage of 12 survivors.
Their bravery in coming forward to report these crimes has been instrumental in our efforts to bring justice.
The suspect faces a long list of charges, including first-degree sex assault while armed. We should note that authorities said during this press conference that due to the brazen nature of these attacks, they fear that there are possibly more survivors out there. If so, they urge you to contact DC Police immediately.
I done got an article with all of the offenses he did. So I'm not going to give you the dates because they range from June 2021 all the way up until now. But the first offense happened at 2:26 a.m. where this guy forced himself into the victim's home and forced sexual contact with the victim. Second attack, he approached the victim, shoved her to the ground, where he forced sexual contact with the victim before fleeing. He raped the woman on the ground. Disgusting. Third assault. Suspect approached the victim, shoved her to the ground, attempted to kiss the victim before fleeing. Fourth attempt. Suspect approached the victim, shoved her to the ground, forced sexual contact before fleeing. Fifth attempt. The suspect approached the victim, applied he had a firearm to force compliance from the victim. Said he had a gun, never showed it. The suspect forced sexual contact on the victim before fleeing. Time number 6 he did it. Said the suspect approached the victim, pointing the silver handgun to her to force compliance. Suspect forced sexual contact with the victim before fleeing in a Chevy Malibu. That was key in him getting caught. Seventh offense. Look at this one. Suspect drove up to the victim, offered her a ride. After arriving to the victim's destination, the suspect brandished a gray handgun to force the victim's compliance. The suspect forced sexual contact on the victim before allowing the victim to exit the vehicle. So he raped her in the car. Trash. Number 8. The suspect approached the victim in an elevator and made sexual contact on the victim before fleeing. So he must have groped her. Attempt number 9. Charge number 9. Approximately 4:13 a.m., the suspect approached the victim in her apartment lobby and brandished a handgun to force the victim's compliance. The suspect forced sexual contact on the victim before fleeing. Number 10, we almost done, y'all. This one is assault with a dangerous weapon. Between early morning between 3:38 and 3:55, October 28th of this year, the suspect approached the victim, pressed a silver handgun against the victim's body, forced her into an alley. The victim pleaded with the suspect, which caused the suspect to flee the scene. So he didn't do nothing with her that time. He just dragged her off like a troll. Number 11, November 1st of this year. Suspect forced, what did it say? The suspect approached the vehicle and brandished a silver handgun to force the victim's compliance. The suspect forced sexual contact on the victim. The victim fought and screamed, causing the suspect to flee. And the last one, November 3rd of this year, between 5 o'clock and 5:30 a.m., the suspect approached the victim. We know what happened. He pulled the gun out, forced the victim's compliance. The suspect performed a sexual act on the victim. He performed a sexual act on the victim, then fled the scene. Okay, let's get past all of this. People like that, they need to set on fire. For real. You used a weapon of a defense weapon, a gun, to force somebody to give you coochie. What kind of dude is you? What kind of dude is you? Now, you know these guys sound like he a foreigner, Obama or whatever. I don't know what he is. But at 33 years old, you can't get no ass. They got prostitutes. They got all kind of stuff out there. Porn. You can't do anything to get your shit off. How do you as a man, let's get right into this shit. How do you as a man see somebody get sexually turned on and devise it to where you put a gun on her to get her to come out of her clothes for you to do something vile to her and violate her, and then walk off like it's nothing? Sometimes he did this shit a day after or 2 days after. So you waited for the sack to get full again so you can go out there and violate somebody? They found him. They know who he is. Why are you even pussyfooting with this dude? Because what he took from them women, they can't get back. Their dignity and their sense of pride that he took, and their sense of security being in the area that they are in or were in. Said he did this early in the morning and he was doing it to random women in public places. What kind of piece of shit human being are you that you're so damn horny that you're gonna force a woman with a gun, pull her off the side of the street or in a car and do what you gotta do to her on the ground? What the hell is that? I wouldn't have sex in nature. I wish a motherfucker would say have sex on the beach. That's too much dirt. I ain't doing it. But there are people out here that don't care. I wonder what sparked him to start doing this shit. Seriously. You know what? She got a fat ass. I got that thing on me. Run over to the girl. Give me the coochie. Give me the coochie. Come on. Now, I said that one girl screamed and tried to fight him. And I'm not trying to give nobody no advice or nothing, but it saved her. See, the thing a woman has that makes her powerful a lot of times is her voice. Trust me, you could say stuff a dude don't want to hear. A woman's voice or something she says can crush a man sometimes. His confidence, self-esteem, so on and so forth. And she can also emit that shriek that nobody want to hear, that scream. That scream bring people. It make people look. Luckily for that one lady, she did that. But I mean, come on, man. Come on, what are we doing out here? It's some pieces of shit that's walking out here. People that just hunt other human beings and stalk them like prey. Whether it's to do harm to them or just any type of sexual deviance. It's crazy. Stuff like this, they need to eradicate people as soon as they catch them. You ain't got to sit back and wonder why somebody does this crime. Because no matter what, that sense of justice that that they think is real justice is not, because what was taken from them can't be replaced. And then there's another thing. This dude running around, if he doing this on random women, you don't know what he got. He don't even care. Because you know when you're doing that type of stuff, you ain't got time to put no damn condom on. That's some sick shit. It's fat asses all over the goddamn place. That don't mean you got privy to go and touch somebody or grab on them or whatever. Say he forced a sexual act on the one girl. So what did he do? Eat her out? What did he do? Trifling. Trifling behavior. For somebody that should know better. And if you're crazy, ain't nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault that you can't get it together. See, it's the thing. People run off and stuff because they know they're doing wrong. And that right there is enough to show anybody the fucking flowers. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been robbed at gunpoint several times. I've been shot 3 times. From, choices that wasn't even mine. Like, I was just there. Circumstantial shit. And it does something to you. Having a gun pulled on you and stuff like that, it's a life-changing experience a lot of times. Can you imagine these people, what these women going through, just the psychological stuff, not in addition to the physical damage that did to them? How many of them women you think out there right now have problems with relationships or had problems with relationships? The PTSD on something like that is really immense. Me as a man, I can only speak about man issues, but I can only sympathize with what a woman goes through from that type of situation, because as men, most of the time, we don't have to deal with somebody trying to rape us. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you in the next video. Take care.